Hey guys, I'm making another video. Raya, can you shut up? You're very loud a lot of times. I'm watching a video about a abandoned haunted train. Haven't made YouTube videos in a long time, so yeah, sorry.
My name is Dalton, and this is my story. It all started when my friends dared me to stay in an abandoned haunted train.
Crazy.
When I got there, I said goodbye to my friends and walked to the train.
Dummy.
It was freezing. I'm lucky I brought my thermal coat, otherwise I would have got frostbite. So when I got to the train, I found a perfect room to sleep in for the night, and I laid down for 20 minutes and fell asleep. I woke up to the sound of screaming and windows being broken. I jumped out of bed and looked out to the hallway. And to my disbelief, I saw a ghostly man looking through all the train cabs for something or someone. Just then, we locked eyes. He came running after me at full speed. I just stood there, terrified out of my mind, when he touched me. At that point, I woke up and realized it was all a nightmare. I decided to not sleep that night. So I went on my phone, and 10 minutes later I heard screaming again and windows being broken. I looked out to the hallway to make sure that man wasn't there. But he was. I thought to myself, did I see into the future? But I didn't waste any time thinking. I grabbed all my things and climbed out a broken window to escape. I called my friends to pick me up and tell them what happened. As I looked back, the man was staring at me. Then he disappeared. Did I just imagine that man, or was it a ghost? But no matter what, I will never forget that man's cold and lifeless face as he stared at me with his creepy smile. A few days ago, I was with my girlfriend and ended up coming home late. Since I wanted to finish something on my
you
game
have a
development
girlfriend?
project, I lost track of time and went to sleep around 3 a.m. So anyways, I fell asleep. Later that night, I had a dream that resembled my school breaks, but it was in a train, bus-ish thing. At breaks, I used to patrol around school and see a bunch of people and say hi, laugh with them, annoy them, and just energetic social shit. So after messing around with my friends in my dream, I went to sit on a train chair. When I started bending over the chair, suddenly I saw an old lady figure. She looked pretty, I don't know how to explain it, kind of like the old lady from the comic Bone, but a messed up, skinny version of her. She moved in my direction while moving her hands in big, weird circles. And suddenly, I felt a hand holding my wrist really hard. I got scared, while the holding started to be more painful. Then I realized it was a dream and tried to wake up. I managed to wake up about a minute after. I woke up while my wrist was in heavy pain. I looked at the clock to check the time. It was 8 in the morning. My eyes were still blurry. I got my phone to check if my girlfriend sent me a message. Nope, only a message from my mom. Since she usually texts me recipes, I decided to check later. I went back to sleep and woke up a few hours later. I opened my phone and checked the message from my mom. Hi, we didn't want to interrupt you this morning. Grandma just died. I was totally shocked. I didn't tell anyone but my girlfriend about it. It's such a weird feeling.
I'm sorry, please.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Imagine that happening in real life to like you. I mean, maybe it did, but I mean, like, see, what the bro, don't tell me that's no, I don't even want to watch this anymore. People on the toilet, like, it's a horror story. What? Want to do lockdowns? Yeah, okay. But like, disturbing mysteries.
Shut up, battle line.
Hey, I'll be right. I gotta do something. No, what is Rainbow Cross? What the heck? Yo, what is my sister hooking up? Rainbow Cross something. Cross Road Fortnite. So, freaking.
Showing results for horror stories.
You know, I asked. Oh, I hate when phones. Oh, snap, what happened?
freaking
No, no.
Get inside of me and stop me from being
No. My phone's dying.
crackhead.
But who cares? Who cares if my phone's dying?
Following me?
I am not giving up yet.
Oh my god. Share her video.
3 deserving TikTok murder case. Alright, that makes you feel sick.
Dominant and talked over people.
You
He
can get
also
sick
wasn't
over this.
afraid
I
to
wouldn't
boast
watch it, okay, guys? I for sure won't get sick.
Defendant was married to the victim.
If I get sick, I quit. Dog 3.
The following stories tell the tales of real cases in which TikTok played a role in a murder. Ali Abu Laban was at one time a TikTok celebrity. He had over 1 million followers and was known for doing pop culture impersonations. In some of his videos, his wife Anna would join in. The pair appeared to be madly in love and had a cute relationship that others admired. Anna also had her own account on TikTok and she would upload videos to that as well. The pair would dance, play around, and tease each other. The pair also shared a 5-year-old daughter. To outsiders looking in, it seemed like they had everything. They lived in a high-rise apartment in San Diego, California. They were beautiful people who were living a beautiful life, or so it appeared. Anna's life in San Diego was much different than the life she had been born into. She was born in 1993 in Japan to Filipino parents and didn't move to the United States until later in life. She was known for being kind, compassionate, and a loyal friend. Unfortunately, as time went on, trouble began to brew in her relationship with her husband.
No, you freak! Stay on me, bro. What did I do to you? Ow! I could have lost my stomach.
He went to great lengths to hold control over
I didn't do
her.
anything.
The pair
I'm
worked
just trying to
hard
make a
conceal
YouTube
their
video.
relationship troubles from the public and pretend to be the same happy-go-lucky couple. But
That's
Anna's
scary.
closest friends picked up on what was going on.
Nope.
Did you ever buy a level on my account?
Ali
Nope.
was aggressive,
Swear, no, I'm not even gonna get mad. Did you?
over people. He also wasn't afraid to boast
Did you
about his
ever buy one level?
accomplishments and financial success. He
Right, you
seemed to
play the
resent
game
her
this
friends
much,
and
you
the
only
time
got
that they
out
would
one
spend
level.
together. The
That's
more her social life
crazy.
grew,
Swear
the
to God.
angrier he became.
No cost.
He was actually trying to get a divorce at that time
Right
when he
hand
killed
guy.
her, one of Anna's friends later
Pick your right
recalled.
hand, the
He
right
was
hand guy
actually
ain't got
trying
no
to get
level.
a divorce at that
Hey,
time
who are
when
you?
he
Typical
killed
gamer,
her.
bro.
Ali's
Anything
behavior
else
got
into the game that make
scarier
it this
and
high?
scarier.
That's when
He
he buy
felt
his
that
first
his
one
wife
as a
partied
level.
too much and he hated that she would attend social gatherings without him. It was clear that he was becoming more and more unhinged, even causing his family to not want to be around him. To make matters worse, he was also engaging in drug
Nope, see.
something his fans would soon find out about. While filming an Instagram live one day, Ali was drinking and ended up pulling out a bag of drugs that he would go on to snort while still on camera. At
What?
first, his fans thought that this was just a skit he was doing, but became disturbed when they realized that he wasn't pretending. The red flags were beginning to add up. The next day, Ali released a weak apology. He claimed that it had been his first time ever engaging in drug use, and that he realized how dangerous it was. He then went on a strange and confusing rant in which he discussed how he didn't like his wife being around other men, and that it made him uncomfortable. In September of 2021, Anna told the police that he had pushed her, causing some minor injuries. She was done with their marriage and wanted to get a restraining order against him. On October 18th, she asked her estranged husband to leave the apartment that they shared with their daughter. Ali's behavior became more and more erratic. He began drinking heavily, even posting videos of himself driving while drinking out of a bottle of red wine. During this time, he continued to reach out to Anna, who would refuse to pick up his calls. His family begged him to give her some space, but he couldn't be reasoned with. Ali had no plans to leave Anna alone, and he hatched a disturbing plan. When he knew that Anna wasn't home, he snuck back into the apartment and downloaded a special app on his daughter's iPad. Through this app, he would be able to spy on them and know what was going on at the apartment. Before leaving, he vandalized and trashed the apartment. Sure enough, while listening in on Anna, Ali heard the sound of a male voice accompanied by her laughing. He became so enraged he could not think straight, and he automatically assumed that Anna was cheating on him. The man that Anna was with was 29-year-old Rayburn Canedas Barron. Despite Ali's assumptions, Rayburn and Anna were just friends. Ali drove to the apartment in a blind rage Rayburn 3 times, killing him. He then shot Anna in the head, killing her as well. After the horrific murders, he fled the scene and drove to his daughter's school to pick her up. It was then that he told the confused little girl that he had hurt Mommy. He confessed to his own mother over the phone while driving away from his daughter's school. He was arrested a short while later while his daughter was still in the car. Despite the overwhelming evidence that he committed the gruesome acts, Ali claims that he is innocent and pleaded guilty to the double homicide. It's possible that if he is convicted, he may face the death penalty.
So the problem is, I'm watching this in the middle of the night.
I'm coming.
Don't ask me why I'm watching this in the middle of the night.
When Anna got sick, I just couldn't understand it. Why was this loving little girl going through this?
I think your daughter is lactose tolerant.
It's okay. Your daughter's okay.
Kalicia Williams was a stunning 16-year-old girl who loved dancing, filming TikToks, and hanging out with her friends. In December of 2020, she was invited to go to a chaperoned holiday party that would be held at an Airbnb with just a couple of friends from school. Her mother and stepfather felt comfortable with letting their daughter go to the party because she had gone to an event like this once before. They even spoke with the mother who would be chaperoning the event, and were told that she would be there the entire time. While Kalicia was on the fence about attending, her stepfather thought it would be a good idea to socialize. Because of the pandemic, she had been cooped up inside the house for months and was unable to see her friends. Kalicia eventually agreed and decided that she
COVID is the
However,
worst.
The party, which took place the day after Christmas, was not like anything Kalicia's parents had been told. Rather than it taking place at an Airbnb, it was at the Hyatt Regency Hotel. At 12:02 a.m. on the night of the party, Kalicia was filming what would end up being her last TikTok. She was in her hotel room performing a dance routine when someone appears to enter her room without knocking. Kalicia jumps and appears shocked. She quickly turns off the video. Only moments later, can be heard coming from inside of Kalicia's hotel room. But the other partygoers were completely unaware of what was going on with their friend. While the details of what followed continue to be partially unclear, it's known that shortly after the gunfire, 2 males entered the room and found Kalicia laying on the floor covered. They carried her to the elevator and the authorities were notified. When the paramedics arrived at the scene, Kalicia was not breathing and had no pulse. She was then transferred to the hospital where doctors tried to save her life, but were unsuccessful. While all of this was going on, Kalicia's parents reached out to the chaperone of the party to check in and see how their daughter was doing, but ultimately were not given the truth about Kalicia's fate until 8 hours after her death. The parents are of course heartbroken, but also enraged that they trusted this adult to take care of their daughter, only to be let down. They believe that the individual should be held partially accountable for what happened.
The hotel room was in her name, so I feel like she should be held accountable for my daughter's death as well.
April Smith, Kalicia's mother, told reporters. As for the suspect, he is believed to be a juvenile male, but his name has not been released. The male allegedly entered Kalicia's hotel room and a verbal altercation took place. He then fatally shot her before leaving the scene. He was taken into custody and has been charged not only with felony murder, but unlawful possession of a firearm. Following this tragedy, many people joined Kalicia's parents.
If I was, you know, what it's called, I would make them stay, the judge here, I'll make them stay in, anybody whoever murdered, I would have made them stay in jail for 300 years. But like, there's no way you can survive that long, so yeah. But like, if like you just stealed, I would have just made them stay in jail for like a year, you know, because if you steal, you can stay in jail for a year, but you steal again, we're gonna have some consequences because you're gonna be in jail for 3 years. You do it again, 14 years. Do it again until it gets to 3,000 years.
A relatively large audience with over 120,000 followers and over 3.2 million likes. She filmed videos recreating popular trends as well as makeup and fashion tutorials. And
I need a camera holder. I'm not good at holding cameras.
Innocent and
I've been doing this my whole
lighthearted.
life.
That is until she posted one unsettling video on January 3rd, 2022, in which she joked about having to confess to killing someone. She seemed to smile as Shawn Mendes' song, It'll Be Okay, played over the clip. While most of her followers probably thought this was nothing more than a silly TikTok video, it was actually foreshadowing a very dark event to come. In February of 2022, Mehek, her mother, Ansreen Bukhari, and a 21-year-old woman named Natasha Akatar were involved in a car chase. They chased two 21-year-old cousins named Mohammed Hashim Ijazuddin and Saqib Hussein, and eventually ran them off the road, destroying their car and taking both of their lives instantly. Two men named Reyes Jamal and Raken Karwan have also been charged in connection with the car chase, but it has not been released what role they played in this horrific tragedy. The vehicles that were involved in the crash include a silver Skoda Fabia, a gray Audi TT, and a blue Seat Leon. While the exact routes the cars took is still being pieced together, it is known that they were traveling at great speeds. It's unclear what sparked these three women to want to chase down the men. However, it is known that Mehek has been involved in some tension with other people in the past. Last year, she claimed that she had beef with other influencers and had felt the need to disassociate with them as a result. I would say beef was coming to me last year, and I cut off loads of people. Lots of TikTokers actually, which was really good for my mental health as well, Mehek said. Now I'm literally thriving and growing. She also wasn't afraid to engage in risky behavior. In one of her TikToks, a flashy car is seen screeching recklessly through a parking lot, while in another clip, she is seen filming herself while driving. The video was tagged by TikTok with a warning that read, "Participating in this activity could result in you or others getting hurt." After their arrests, Mehek and her mother were brought into court. During this time, the judge asked them if they understood the severity of their charges. They both only said one word, yes. They will face a hearing on March 18th and will likely face trial in September of 2022. Meanwhile, the loved ones of Ijazuddin and Hussein are left to grieve the long lives that were ended far too soon. Sikandar Hayat, Ijazuddin's father, said that at the time of the crash, Hussein was going through a hard time, and his son was trying to help cheer him up. He had borrowed his grandfather's car and was using it to take Hussein to see a friend of theirs. Saqib was very down about things. Hashim loved him a lot and cared for all people in general. He would do anything to help somebody out.
See y'all guys.
TikTok star and her mother spend the rest.
Okay. How we watch one more, okay? One more, okay? Because I haven't posted in a long time. That I think. Oh my god. We gotta skip to that.
I will torture the guards.
You found two bodies.
We believe you are hiding in plain sight. I want to revenge for being alive.
In this day and age, many people are in tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands or even more, photographs throughout the course of their lifetime. It's crazy
30
to
minutes.
think that each
Oh
one
my
of us
God.
one day will be in our very last picture. The last picture of people in these stories was taken way too soon, because these people were victims of murder. The following stories tell the tale of haunting last photographs of people before they were killed. We have two innocent little girls who were on an adventure that went terribly wrong. We also have someone who seems to be the perfect son become a family's worst nightmare. This case is extra horrific for many reasons, but partly because the victims were innocent children, and also because this case has not yet been solved. The setting of this case is Delphi, Indiana. The victims' names are Abigail Williams and Liberty German. Abby was a redhead, and Liberty a blonde. What you're seeing here is an old historic bridge that connects some hiking trails in the woods of Delphi. This is where Abby and Libby used to explore, take pictures, and spend time together. But unfortunately, this would also be the area where their young lives would be tragically taken away. Abby was 13 years old when she died, and Libby was 14. They were both full of life and the best of friends. They shared a lot of common interests, including photography, painting, and music. In fact, they both played in their school band. The girls were also into sports and were looking forward to playing on the softball team together. Like most teens their age, Abby and Libby were particularly fond of their phones. Ultimately, Libby's phone may be the key into unlocking exactly what happened on the day they died. That's because she managed to catch a short
Bro,
and
Grace.
but important recording of the man.
Just stop calling her. Nobody really wants to talk to you.
We'll get to the recording soon.
You made my
But
friend
first,
stop playing
we
with
need to
me,
discuss
so
how
no.
strong Abby and Libby's friendship
God,
was, leading
bro.
all the way up to their
Sydney
deaths.
chat now. No!
No, we
I
not
don't know what
teaming,
happened
bro.
out there that
Don't
day.
even ask.
If there was a chance or an opportunity for one
What can I say
to
something?
break off or split or make a break for it or whatever, but I look at it as, two young soldiers that stuck, covered each other's back, two best friends, I wouldn't leave my best friend's side.
Since the girls were last seen alive on February 13th of 2017, the initiative to find out what happened to them has been nonstop. Countless
Did it
flyers
fall
have
off?
been posted,
No
billboards have been put up, tons of officers have fought for justice, and no one has given up the fight for the truth, and most certainly not the girls' families. Let's go back to the day that the girls went missing.
Okay.
It was a Monday
Okay, shut up,
afternoon,
Molly.
a winter day in Indiana. It was cold, but a nicer day than usual, which is probably the reason the girls decided to go hiking. The girls wanted to take pictures in the woods and look for animal tracks, something that they enjoyed often. At around 1:35 p.m. that afternoon, Libby's older sister Kelsey dropped both of the girls off at a country road near the woods where they planned to go hiking. They would hike the Manon High Bridge, overlooking Deer Creek. This is the same bridge where they were last seen alive. At approximately 2:07 p.m., Libby posted a picture to her Snapchat story that shows Abby with her head down as she carefully made her way across the bridge. There's a beautiful blue sky in the background, and the sun shines down on her. It looks like the perfect day. Unfortunately, this would be the last ever picture of Abby alive. Libby and her parents had arranged for her dad to pick her and Abby up at a certain location at 3:15 p.m. But they never showed up. At first, believing that the girls could have just gotten lost, the family searched for them on their own. But after finding no sign of them, they reported them missing at 5:30 p.m. that same day.
5:30? Oh,
That's
it's
when
not
the
the
search
3.
fully began.
That's 2
There
hours
was
and
not one stone
a few
left
minutes.
unturned in the search for these girls.
Huh?
In addition to many officers and volunteers on foot, there were also helicopters brought in to look
Yes,
for the
ma'am.
girls from above. The search continued overnight and included hundreds of people.
Yeah, whatever.
Unfortunately, on February 14th, just the day after the girls went missing, police made a horrific discovery.
We found two bodies. We are investigating this as a crime scene. We suspect foul play.
It was the news that nobody wanted to hear, and it shook the whole state, if not the whole nation, to its core. It dominated many news channels.
The police and the FBI have been on the scene now for several hours. A number of units and teams have been here trying to gather.
There were 2 bodies, and police had been looking for 2 people. But did these 2 bodies belong to Libby and Abby? That wouldn't be determined until a day later, Wednesday, February 15th. It was 3:33 p.m. when the announcement was finally made.
Bodies have been positive identified as Abigail J. Williams, 13, of the Delphi area, and Liberty Rose Lynn German, 14, of the Delphi area. This is considered double homicide investigation.
Police have not yet felt comfortable saying exactly how Abby and Libby were killed or what sort of state their bodies were found in. This information will likely be withheld until the killer is finally found. Who would do this to 2 beautiful young girls, and why? The police didn't know, and they needed the public's help in figuring this out. They did have.
No, I would do. I'm
go off
sorry
of,
for
though.
talking in front of
The
me.
piece of evidence
But you know what
that
I would
Libby
do? I
had
would
managed to
literally
capture
just
while
go
being pursued by the person that
get
likely
everybody in the
killed her
world just
and
to
her
help
best
me.
friend.
Like, it won't be that hard. You have everybody. And then 3 years later, the murder would be found. But the only problem is, you could be working with a murderer the whole time. The murderer could be one of the cops, bruh. You could be like, dang, that's crazy. That's crazy.
To turn on her video camera. But there's enough there that somebody could recognize this person's voice.
This is the grainy picture of the man Libby took from a distance, who is believed to be her and Abby's killer. But there is also audio to go along with this creepy recording. The man can be heard saying clearly, was the man talking to the girls and telling them to go down the hill when he said this? It certainly seems like it from listening to the clip, but why? And had he already planned on killing them at this point? There are so many questions, and the Indiana State Police promised that they will never give up until the answers were found.
Directly to the killer, who may be in this room.
That's kind of scared me.
We believe you are hiding in plain sight. What will those closest to you think of when they find out that you brutally murdered 2 little girls?
2 children.
2 children. Only a coward would do such a thing.
The
Damn.
community was more than willing to help out in
If that was me, I wouldn't take that much disrespect, bro. I would have went over there and murdered all them cops. No offense, but if I was a murderer, I would murder all the cops when they said a coward. I would say I don't take that level of disrespect now. I don't take that level of disrespect. Now I don't, but now seriously, hey, anybody watch this? Don't think I'm going insane now. Chill, bro. Don't chill, bro. No offense, hey, bro, don't chill, bro. Chill.
This case has taken a major toll, not only upon the families involved, but the officers who have spent countless days trying to get to the bottom of things. One officer choked up at a local press conference as he tried to express the efforts that were being put into finding answers.
Bro, if Grace calls God dang, guys, shut up! We're 8 minutes in the movie.
While Abby and Libby's families have...
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
Holy shit. Me too, bro. I gotta pee. I've been holding it in for the last 5 seconds. That's what I was trying to figure out. Probably when I was AFK.
I'm going too fast. I forgot how to sing. Okay, bro. First of all, I can't. Bro, it's so cold. I don't even know why it's this cold.
Worked to find some sort of healing from these tragic losses. They have worked hard to make their happy memories with these girls well known. Libby's grandmother, Becky, recalled her granddaughter's ability to make the best chocolate chip cookies around.
She was our baker. She could throw together a batch of cookies like nobody. She'd come in, have it done in half an hour or so, have cookies laid out for everybody to eat the rest of the night.
Libby was also the sort of girl who made it clear to her family members how much she loved them. This was clear by this note that she left for her grandmother to find in her car.
I love you. Thank you for all you do for me and Kelsey.
She was always willing to help others, even giving away her own money.
If she called me one day, I'd give her some money for some item at school or function. It was probably a $10 bill or something. So she called me up and said, Grandpa, with the change, can I give it to somebody else or somebody who needs something here at school? I said, well, sure. Sure you can. So it's just the way she worked.
While Abby and Libby's family and friends can find joy in their memories of the 2 girls, they also need answers so that they can begin to heal. They also feel as if they are owed these answers to the girls so that justice can finally be served.
Nothing's ever going to bring him back. It's our job to fight, to keep it out there, to do whatever it takes to find this person or persons that has done this to them. This is our job now.
Abby's grandparents share the same goal. They have tried their best to preserve their granddaughter's memory, even leaving all of her things exactly where she left them before she died.
Her things are still here. we just can't. We can't erase her from our lives, and we don't want to. We treasure her coat hanging on the coat hook and her shoes on the shoe rack, and her bedroom is just the way she left it. Because she may have walked out the door, but she's here with us.
It has been a long time now since the girl's disappearance, and each day the officers involved in trying to figure out what happened cling on to the phrase, "Today is the day," hoping that it will be the day that the perpetrator will be found.
Bro, my phone is at 7%.
We're going to get closer to the end. Today's the day we're going to
And
get
I
closer to
still
getting
have, like,
justice for Abby and Libby. We have
20
all worked tragic cases, nothing
I
like
said I
this.
have 20
In July
minutes
of
left.
2017,
I don't even
police
know-
were able to
I don't
produce
even know how
this
much minutes I
sketch
have left.
of what the suspect in this case may look like. Another sketch was also released that depicts this
My
man.
phone might just die
As
making
you
this
can
video.
see, these sketches are quite different.
Bro,
One
why
shows
would
a
you do that,
scruffy-looking
bro?
older man that could be in
You
his
did the
60s,
no-no.
And the other shows a much younger-looking man with a clean-shaven face. While police cannot say why the sketches are so different, one likely explanation
I'm making a
is
video
that the
here.
suspect
You
from the
were
video
inappropriate.
changed his appearance so as not to be
Guys.
recognized. On December 26th of 20...
No more videos. So my phone's at like 7%. So I might finish a little bit more. Then when it gets to like 5, I'm gonna turn it off.
21, police zeroed in on one of their first
But we won't get to finish it all. So I'm sorry.
This individual had a fake personality online, and he would use pictures of male models to catfish girls. He would do this in order to try to get girls to send him nude pictures of themselves. His username was Anthony_shots. The man behind this profile is 27-year-old Keegan Anthony Klein of Peru, Indiana. At the time that police began to focus on him, he was already in jail for other crimes, including child solicitation, child exploitation, obstruction of justice, and a slew of other things. Police interviewed Keegan, and while they say they learned a lot through him that has helped them with their investigation, they haven't said that Keegan was
12 minutes and 51 seconds. So we have 1 minute until my battery's going.
They have been very tight-lipped about where Keegan stands as a suspect. Police believe that the suspect likely remains in the tight-knit community of Delphi, hiding in plain sight. His ego has likely grown a lot due to the fact that he has managed to go 5 years without being
Just to
caught.
let y'all know, there won't be a
Even
part
though
2,
so much
so we
time
do
has
miss
gone by,
half of
the
it.
community of Delphi
Y'all might just have to
remembers
watch
Libby
it
and
on
Abby
your,
every single day.
where
Not
your
only
phone
was a
or TV or
memorial built in
anything.
their memory,
Might have to just
so was
watch
a
it
$1
on there
million
because
park where other children
there's no
now
part 2. I'm sorry,
As
they
for
just
the area of woods
no,
where the girls were last
this just
seen
came in
alive,
part 2.
most people stay
Like
away
there's a lot
out
of
fear
things
of what
happening.
happened there.
Like getting mad.
We'll still ask questions of what's going to happen.
Might
One of the things we
might
did
not be
early
part 2,
on,
but if we finish this,
I would say
we might just be lucky if you know what I'm talking about though.
reclaim the trails. We walked over them, we prayed over them. We said this is something that won't define our community. It'll help us to say how do we move forward together.
This pastor has made an effort to reclaim these trails as a part of the Delphi community. He even led a group down the trails and prayed over the ground. Police Superintendent Doug Carter wants to assure the world that he will not.
Okay, guys, if you want to watch it, it's 14 minutes and 7 seconds left. It's called Anna Horror Stories. That's the person who made this video. Last hunting photos of victim right before they were killed. So yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Thank y'all a lot. I can't do part 2. I'm sorry, guys. So sorry.